It's a check. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful evening. I request all of you who are standing to kindly be seated.
Check.
Dear esteemed guests, my dear brothers and sisters, we are going to start the program in another couple of minutes. May I request those of you who are standing to kindly take your seat. We are indeed here in this momentous, joyous occasion of the Indian Catholic Press Association celebrating its Diamond Jubilee. And it's my humble request to be joyful, as we are indeed joyful celebrating this momentous occasion. Our esteemed dignitaries are being escorted to the front row. Well then, once again, a very good evening to one and all of you. My name is Neil Gonzalez, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. The Diamond Jubilee of the ICPA is a joyous occasion. A lot of goodness and blessings have come from this organization. Dear friends, we begin today's proceedings in a very special way. In the past 1 year, the ICPA has lost two very outstanding members, namely Father Sebastian Mattapalli, SVD, and Father Varghese Alangadan. We begin today's function paying grateful tributes to their hallowed memories. I request the President to do the honors to light the candle in front of their photographs here. And I request all of us to kindly rise as we take a moment of silence here. And we also have their biographies being read soon after this. Thank you. We now have the biographies being read by Sister Tessie.
Father Sebastian Mattapalli, SVD. Father Sebastian Mattapalli, SVD, was born on 9th February in 1954 at Elakkulam in village in the Kottayam district of Kerala, as the eighth and the last child of Matthai Mattapalli and Theresia. God chose the first child, Matthew, and the last child, Sebastian, to be missionaries in the Society of Divine Word. Among their 4 sisters, 3 became religious sisters. After the high school studies, Sebastian joined the Society of the Divine Word in 1969 and made his final profession in 1981. He was ordained priest on 29th April 1982. During his formation, he developed philosophy skills and mastered it. Eventually, he became a master communicator. From 1983 to 85, he was assistant parish priest at Gudrapada, Odisha. Then he was appointed assistant director of St. Arnold's Vikas Sanchar Communication Center, assistant parish priest of St. Arnold's Catholic Church, Jharsuguda. In 1987, he was sent to Rome for higher studies. After completing his studies, he returned to India in 1989. Then he was given triple responsibilities as communication coordinator of the province, of the Diocese of Sambalpur, and of the entire Orissa region, which he discharged sincerely and professionally. In the year 2001, he was made in charge of the Dialogue Center in Puri. Wherever or whatever, total commitment was his hallmark. The very next year, Father Sebastian was appointed to the SPD Generalate in Rome, where he rendered his services in the Department of Publications and Archives. During his time, he was also editor of various periodicals. After 12 years of tireless and dedicated service in the Generalate in Rome, Father Sebastian had several possibilities of continuing his missionary service in different countries or in any country of his choice. But he opted to come back to Odisha, India, his province. I'm happy that the Generalate has led me to return to my mother province, he later wrote. From 2014 till his death on 22nd May 2023, he served as the in charge of Jansen Bhavan, old-aged home, Jharsuguda, and devoted his time and energy in establishing a model digital archive for the province. Father Sebastian had several ailments, including diabetics, sensitive stomach, and weak eyesight. Towards the end, he was in and out of hospitals many times, but he remained calm and cheerful till the very end. He was determined to complete his work and visited on Monday, which was 22nd May. On 20th May, he developed breathlessness and was hospitalized. On 22nd May, his condition worsened. The provincial administration made arrangements from his Rourkela hospital to Bhubaneswar to ensure the available best medical treatment for him. As he was being taken to the air ambulance, he suffered a massive cardiac arrest at 8 p.m. and was readmitted in the J. Prakash Hospital, Rourkela. All efforts to revive him failed, and the end came within half an hour in the presence of his elder brother, Father Matthew Mattapalli, and many other confreres. Of seems Father Sebastian knew his end come. While being taken to the hospital, he thanked everyone, shared the password of his mobile, laptop, and other documents to the provincial superior. He also received the anointing of the sick and peacefully went his heavenly abode.
Thank you, Sister Tessie. Now to read the next biography, we have Mr. Ranjit Leen.
Father Varghese Alangadan. When the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, was assassinated, Albert Einstein exclaimed thus, "Generations will come, will scarce believe that such a one as this ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth." The same holds true for Varghese Alangadan, an ardent Gandhian who was light years ahead of our times by sparing no effort to create a brave new world. built on Gandhian ideals of inclusivity, peace, and fraternal love. The founder of the Universal Solidarity Movement of Value Education for Peace in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. He was a true prophet, like the ones mentioned in the Old Testament, who blazed a new radical trail in understanding the teachings and life of Jesus and raising down the barriers of religion, caste, and creed. He was a true beacon who lighted the lives of thousands, especially the young. He left an unfathomable void when he passed away on Sunday, March the 26th, 2023, at Robert Nursing Home in Indore. He was admitted there for post-surgical care. He was 70 when he passed away of cardiac arrest. He was a priest who belonged to the Diocese of Indore. And he was a priest who transcended religiosity to attain greater heights in spirituality, and he found God in everyone whom he met. Father Alangadan was at the vanguard of a holistic spiritual movement to transform India through the Gandhian idea of self-transformation. You be the change was his mantra to build a new civilization of love that embraced people of all caste, creed, and cultures. Through Universal Solidarity Movement, or USM as it was known, he reached out to thousands of students, teachers, bishops, priests, religious, and members of civil society. He was born on December 30, 1952, in Kallur in Kerala's Thrissur district, as the son of Ausep and Annam. He has two brothers and a sister. After his schooling in his native village, he joined Sagar Diocese in Madhya Pradesh as a missionary and did his priestly studies at Nagpur Seminary. Ordained in 81, he served in Sagar Diocese for 12 years before embarking on a new path to promote interfaith harmony and unity by igniting the minds of young people. Thus began USM with the blessings of the then Bishop George Anathil. He was fiercely critical of the because he loved the church more. He was one of the few priests who stood head and shoulders above the vast majority, be it in his writings or his efforts to galvanize society for a better world. Until his final hospitalization, he used to write his journal without fail, and they ran into 45 volumes, spanning more than 36,000 pages. Religious and educational issues, and not to mention the hundreds of articles he has written in dailies and other publications. The fact that he has addressed 215,600 parents in 235 schools and thousands of students in 3 decades speaks volumes about this colossal figure who was like a beacon set upon a hill to illuminate lives. During his lifetime, he was instrumental in organizing 9 national peace conventions in which an average of 300 people took part in different parts of the country in order to pave the way for a better tomorrow. Even while remaining at the vanguard of a crusade for peace and fellowship, Father Alangadan was wedded to radical poverty, almost like St. Francis of Assisi. He neither owned land nor buildings, and in death, he humbled himself by requesting for cremation, without having to own 6 feet of land for his grave. As Gandhi rightly said, although he did not have property, yet he was the richest man in the world. We pray that his soul, who fought the good fight, gets rewarded by his divine master. We also pray that the Indian church be blessed with more prophets like him. Amen.
Thank you, Ranjit. Truly, the inspirational souls are guiding light for all of us. Friends, we move on. We move on for a prayer dance right now. The Diamond Jubilee of the ICPA is a joyous occasion for all. A lot of goodness and blessings have come from this organization. And so it is in the fitness of things that we begin our jubilation with a prayer dance performed by St. Anthony's Higher Secondary School, run by the CSST sisters.
feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. Abounds in deepest waters, your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed and you won't stop now. So
Thank you very much. I think they deserve a bigger round of applause. For sure, we'll call upon the Lord, for I'm yours and He's mine. Dear friends, we might also get some showers of blessings. Well, let's not panic, but if it persists, we will quickly move into the nearby hall. To offer the welcome address, we have with us Reverend Dr. Suresh Matthew, the Secretary of ICPA.
A very good evening to one and all. Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran, Judge, High Court, Kerala, Your Grace, Dr. Joseph Kalathiparambal, Metropolitan Archbishop of Verapoly, Your Excellency Bishop Henry D'Souza, Bishop of Bellary, and Ecclesiastical Advisor to the ICPA, Mr. Raj Gopal, the editor of The Telegraph, Mr. Sebastian Paul, former MP from Inaugural, Dr. Milan Franz, Principal, St. Xavier's College, Alua, Ignatius Gonsalves, Honorable President of the ICPA, distinguished dignitaries, editors, journalists, guests, friends, benefactors, members of the ICPA, and your students. Here is a hearty welcome, big and warm enough to encompass you all, to say that we are thrilled to see you here at John Barrett Nagar, Ashid Bhavan Complex, Kochi is an understatement. What a gathering we have here today. We have got legal luminaries, ecclesiastical dignitaries, veteran journalists, organizational members, invited guests, students, well-wishers, benefactors, sponsors, all brought together under one umbrella and one theme, journalism under duress, mission to speak truth to power. Let me cut short my welcome address. I stand here to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran, Judge of Kerala High Court. After graduating from MG University, studying at Sacred Heart College, Tevara, a young man decided to follow the footsteps of his illustrious father. Thus, we have Justice Devan Ramachandran amidst us today. His father, Barrister M.P.R. Nair, was a much revered advocate of his time. Devan Ramachandran did his legal studies in Government Law College at Inaugural. As an advocate, he earned name and fame pretty soon. He became an additional judge of Kerala High Court in 2016 and a permanent judge in 2018. Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran is one of the most popular judges in India, and his concern for justice for not only humans but all beings in nature is not a secret. A hearty welcome, sir. In Archbishop Joy Kalathiparambal, we have a pastor who literally lives his motto, Super Omnia Caritas, above all is charity. During the floods that devastated Kerala, he auctioned his car and the money went for charity. Taking the cue, many parishes did fundraising in similar manner. One parish even went to the extent of selling a centuries-old 22 sovereign gold chain that adorned the statue of Our Lady, patroness of the parish. I must also tell you, friends, without the generosity of His grace, these events of the ICPA would not have happened here. We welcome Bishop Henry D'Souza, the ecclesiastical advisor to the ICPA. He has rendered his service to the CBCI as Executive Secretary of the CBCI Commission for Social Communications 2 decades ago. I remember vividly he had participated in the ICPA meetings in his capacity as a secretary here in Ashir Bhavan in 2003. Last year, he was appointed as the chairman of the same commission with which he was associated with for many years. He attended our convention last year in Chennai. He also organized a national consultation of communicators in June in Bangalore. The greatest contribution of Bishop Henry is the 2004 CBCI biennial meeting held in Trichy in 2004. He proved that the church in India can be 50 years ahead of time when people say the church is 200 years behind the time. A warm welcome to you, dear Excellency. We are also happy to welcome Mr. Sebastian Paul, former MP from Ernakulam. We will listen to him tomorrow. And we also have an eminent personality, the main or the keynote speaker for tomorrow, Mr. Raj Gopal, the editor of the Telegraph. I look at him in wonder and I admire him, or the entire media family look at him with wonder. It's a miracle alive here. I'm also happy to welcome Dr. Milan France. She is the first layperson to become principal of St. Xavier's College, Alua, under the congregation of Teresian Carmelites. Holding academic degrees, MA, MPhil, PhD, B.Ed, and PG diploma in journalism, she is a professor and research guide in English. As an acclaimed author and poet, she has penned half a dozen books. Recently, she was in the news for meeting our Rashtrapati, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, along with Sister Dr. Susima Kavumpuram, Superior General of the CTC, and presenting a poem dedicated to Her Excellency, the Rashtrapati. Dr. Millen is also a dear former student of our President, Mr. Ignatius Gonsalves. I also welcome the CBCI representative from the Social Communications, the Executive Secretary, Father Biju Alapat. I'm also glad to welcome Mr. Ignatius Gonsalves, the President of the ICPA, to preside over the inaugural session of the National Convention. We have with us many distinguished guests, benefactors, editors, journalists, media students, friends, and collaborators. We also welcome all the members of the ICPA, all distinguished guests and friends of ICPA. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh Matthew. He's also the editor, the editor of Indian Currents. Thank you, Reverend Father, for that comprehensive welcome that you've done for all of us. Next, we move on to the presidential address, and we have our president, Mr. Ignatius Gonsalves. And it is customary, as it is in all the ICPA events, the president chairs the meeting. We begin with the presidential address. Over to you.
Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran, Your Grace, Your Excellency, dear friends, inclement weather never challenge ICPA, because ICPA has seen worse crisis. But then it is in the fitness of things that we move to the hall, which we have kept ready already. I mean, it is reserved and kept. So once the arrangement there is over, I think all of us will move temporarily to the hall. And once the rain stop, maybe we come back for the grand fiesta that awaits us. Yes, this is a time to remember. This is a time to remember and thank. This is Magnificat time for ICPA. A lot of memories come into my mind. I'll be very, very brief. Now, we are all in Bharat Nagar. Who is this Bharat? He was a visionary missionary. In the early 60s, he understood the importance of media. India was just emerging, and that was a time of Second Vatican Council, one of the biggest events that still impact the world. And that was the Cold War era. And those were the times of the 5-year plans. So, in order to share the ideas and the essence of all these, Barrett thought building up media is an essential factor, not just as a decorative pillar of the so-called, among the so-called 3 other pillars. And he found this as the biggest and the strongest and much needed pillar. So in the early 60s, he started a J school in the capital, in Connaught Place. And we have this year one of the ICPA awardees who was a former student of John Barrett. So we are in Bharat Nagar. And you will see a couple of gates here. There is a Veliparambil gate, there is a Valamattam gate, and if you go to the auditorium, you will find our Synod Hall is named after Louis Vaipisheri. I don't know how many of our, even the ICP members who know who this Vaipisheri is. Vaipisheri is the first ever Indian Catholic editor in this land. He launched Satyanada Kahalam, the trumpet of truth. And you compare the earlier editions of Satyanada Kahalam, they will stand head and shoulder equal with, say, I must say, Telegraph or the Hindu. See the separation, Tannattu Vishesham and Maranattu Vishesham. It is amazing how many years ago, almost 2 centuries ago. And we are in hallowed ground. We have this Veliparambil. Who is this Veliparambil? During those emergency days in Kerala, I'm focusing on Kerala, 2 newspapers went blank. One was Deshabhimani with the editorial page blank, and the second one was Kerala Times. And Veliparambil was the chief editor. For Deshabhimani, a party paper, a leftist paper, it is quite natural. There is nothing to fear about to take such a daring step. But then for a publication like Kerala Times. So that's why I say we are on hallowed ground. So this is memory time, and yes, the rain gods, if they show some kindness, I could explain more, but then like the fool telling King Lear, see, speak less than what you know. So I go by that, and I wish you all the good, the blessings and felicitations of this great jubilee. ICPA is 60 years old. So for all those who have not heard about it, for us, it's a happy occasion to tell this is it. For those of us who are in the field and still don't know about these illustrious people, it is mea culpa. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can have a bigger round of applause for our president. Dear friends, we quickly move into the inaugural part of our function. We have the lighting of the lamp. We have with us our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran. I request all the other dignitaries, esteemed guests, to also join to do the honors as we light this lamp and begin our celebrations today. Round of applause. As light signifies truth, and journalists are called to be seekers of truth. And not just truth, but to proclaim it. Round of applause, round of applause. And to proclaim the truth in a coherent and in a very simple manner. Once again, a round of applause as we light each and every wick in this. Light also signifies hope. A round of applause. and hope in the true light, the light of the world. A round of applause. Keep the applause going, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, esteemed guests. Since conditions are not favorable, we move on. We move on to the nearby hall. We take a pause. We'll start from there once again.